All right, good morning to each and every one of you out there that are watching today. This is the Qubilah Jones tribute show, paying homage to our queen, who we love and who we definitely will miss. But this opportunity, and of course, everybody, please, if you're not speaking, please do mute yourself so that we don't have crosstalk on the radio. But this would be an opportunity for you to share what Q meant to you. You don't have to stay on the Zoom the whole time. I know some of you will be at work. So, if you have to jump off after you speak, and you can, of course, this will be on our page and it will permanently be on our page so you can always go back to it. So I'm going to go ahead and share the video and we'll start in about 2 minutes. So thank you all once again for being on and join us with us today. And of course, programming note tonight at 5:00 p.m. DJ King Vic is putting together a special mix of Q's favorite songs, in which will be played. So on your drive home, make sure that you have your radio turned up loud. It's going to be a Q party, and it's going to be as only she could have. Okay, we're starting our legal ID, so
we are Jonesboro.
We'll be getting ready to start very shortly.
KLEK 102.5 FM.
Hello, Jonesboro and Northeast Arkansas. This is meteorologist Corey Harper.
I'm doing this.
Increases blowing behind near 50, south winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of showers after midnight tonight, mostly cloudy skies, lows around 43. South-southeast winds at 5 to 10. Saturday has a chance of showers through early afternoon with mostly cloudy skies, highs in the upper 50s. South-southwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Then a slight chance of showers again on Saturday night with overnight lows around 44. Jonesboro's community radio station, we are KLEK 102.5 FM.
News in London, I'm Ollie Barrett. The SAR gets a vote in the next Speaker of the US House of Representatives. He's breaking records last set nearly 165 years ago. China is dismissing criticism from the WHO about its management of COVID. Afghanistan's Taliban government's signing a deal with Beijing to drill for oil over 25 years, and at least 16 people are reported to have died in a road accident in northern Uganda.
News for this hour is made possible by St. Bernard's Healthcare. St. Bernard's is a nonprofit Catholic healthcare system that serves a 23-county region in northeast Arkansas and southeast Missouri. stbernards.info.
The KLEK Loyal Listener Discount Card is back. Listeners can receive the card through a one-time donation of $20 or a month.
And of course, if you're on the feed, please share this video. We want to definitely give people the opportunity to take part. When we start, we're going to lead off with Qubilah's sister, Gwen Henderson. We'll kick it off with her, and then we will go around the horn with everyone sharing their thoughts. Got about 45 seconds.
Off of your goods or services at no cost to you. KLEK thanks the following businesses for their participation with the KLEK Loyal Listener Discount Card. Businesses like Expressions the Brand, Jacuzzi, Liberty Tax Service, Andy's Professional Cleaning, and Porch 30.
It's 9:02. KLEK LP Jonesboro, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council. It's now time for Community Conversations, a program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community a better place while offering viewpoints from all sides of the issues. The views expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of KLEK 102.5 FM, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council, or our underwriters or sponsors.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday to you. I hope that you're having a great start to your day. You're tuning in at Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. I'm your host, Qubilah Jones, and my special guest, Nelly.
Each and every one of you that is on this call today, I figure what better way to start this tribute edition of Community Conversations by letting the Queen herself introduce the show in her signature manner. So this is the Tribute Community Conversation show. We have several people on the call, and we are going to get right into it. So that the way that this will work, I will recognize people on the call. Just use the Zoom raise your hand feature or wave. If you don't know how to do it, just kind of wave your hand up and I will call you and recognize you for you to just share your memories of what Qubilah meant to you. We're going to be on the air until about 10 o'clock. If we get a large crowd on here and have to go past that on the screen, we will do that. But first, we want to definitely keep the family lifted in prayer during this time, her biological family and her KLEK family. But we're going to start with her sister, Mrs. Gwen Henderson, just to kind of speak what's on her mind and give her reflection. So, Ms. Gwen, the floor is yours.
First of all, let me say good morning to everyone, and let me say thank you. Thank you very much. Please forgive me in advance because I have been extremely emotional this past week, especially yesterday and this morning. So please forgive me in advance if I crack up a little bit my voice. My sister, she's my baby sister. And when I tell you she's my baby sister, she was my baby sister. I'm about 20 years older than my sister. And she came into our life unexpectedly, very much a surprise. I was pregnant with my own son and we were like, whoa. However, I'm the oldest on that side of our family. I have a stepsister, but I'm the oldest. And so I didn't grow up with a baby sister. So I grew up with a baby brother, my brother. So this was a joy, an absolute joy. And from the time Qubilah was born, which we called her Hashi for a cartoon character called Hashimoto, from the time she was born, she was my ride and die. I mean, this baby stuck by me and we just did the good together, the good and the indifference together. There was no bad, there were always learning lessons, but it was a joy to have a baby sister that we both could grow up together with. As we know, Q has health issues with lymphedema, which started in November of 2009. And I tell you, one of the greatest gifts my sister gave me was 1, perseverance, 2, determination, 3, persistence and consistency. And it was in giving and love. She knew internally at a deep level that she was here to serve. And so as her illness progressed, and let me tell you something, my baby sister not one time complained, said, why me, asked for anything. If my sister called me and asked for something, I was like, do you want me to hand deliver it? Or do you want me to overnight it? Because I live in Arizona. I'm in Arkansas now. Because she didn't do that. She took what life gave her and she said, okay, I got crumbs, let me make a crust. If I can't walk as much, she tapped into social media as her form of her own legs. Okay. It was amazing. She not ever said, I can't because of. She said, okay, so this is what I'm working with. And how do I maximize this? As she was declining, I watched her become a host at KLEK. I watched her go back to school and get her bachelor's degree. I watched her get her master's degree, play Delta Sigma Theta, all while she was immobile. And Delta Sigma Theta was a dream of hers ever since she was a little girl. And so to see her achieve some amazing goals was a testament. And every time I would say, Hashi, please just slow down a little. You don't have to do everything today. And she said, why wouldn't I put off doing tomorrow what I could do today? And she said, so many people have it so much worse than me. And I would go, I don't know. However, she taught me how to use what God had given her, not what God had taken away from her, but what she was left with. Let me tell you, when I say my sister used every part of a gift that God gave her, from her breath to her brain to her eyes to her upper extremities. When the lower part went out, the upper part became stronger until she used everything up to its fullest. She said, there is this left. I see a Q in here. I almost got distracted because I'm a Q, Pearl, and a Zeta. I'm like, oh, there's my brother. Okay.
we actually got two Qs in here.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Hey, I grew up with Qs. Okay. Y'all formed me. But my baby sister, not one time said, I'm giving up. Towards the end, she says, I'm a little tired, but I got to get some rest because I got to get better to give more. I got this ounce of brain left. I got this ounce of my fingers left. I got this ounce of my breath left. And I'm going to use it to the maximum for one reason, and that was to serve, to give back, and to love. And that was who Q was. And I'm heartbroken. Thank you.
And thank you so much. And we are definitely praying for your strength and praying for God to comfort you and to heal you during this a difficult time. I thought I saw someone home that was going to do a bit of poetry, but maybe not. So is there anyone on the call that maybe needs to jump off but want to say something before they have to go? I want to make sure that everybody has time. Okay. Miss Carrie. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I do have to go because I have a tour here in a little bit. School group's coming to the museum, but I needed to come and say how much Qubilah meant to us. She was always so friendly. Every time we would come in to do community conversations, she was so welcoming, and she put us at ease. We're not everybody likes to talk into a microphone, but she just made it so easy. And before we knew it, that microphone wasn't even there. She was just bringing it out of us, and it was easy for us because she was there. And we're really going to miss her. I think everybody who knew her as someone who works at KLEK and someone who just puts everyone at ease. She's going to be missed for sure. And I was really saddened to hear her passing. And to her sister, I'm really sorry for your loss. I know she was a great person, and to tell you the truth, she became a friend to me. We became Facebook friends, and she was a supporter of anything good that was happening in anyone's life. And so I really appreciated her. And, I'm glad that she's not suffering anymore, but she will be missed for sure.
Well, thank you so much, Mrs. Carey, for those sentiments and for taking the time to join us on this conversation today. I'm going to read a couple of the Facebook shout outs and then ask a couple of the comments that are in the chat, and then we'll get back to the panel. In our Zoom chat, Angela Artis says, good morning, family. Audrey says, good morning. Pamela Kale says, good morning, everyone. I want to pop in and show my love to my soror, the Pink Queen. I loved her dearly. She was my special. I have to get back to my kiddos, though. Have a great day. And she also said on Facebook, pink sugar kisses to my forever special soror. Jerry Holiday says, may Qubilah rest in peace. She was a blessing to us all. Jerry Holiday says, another Q here. So now we're up to 3 now. So, hey, they're showing out for you, Gwen. They're showing out for you. And let's see. And shout out to Ricky Jackson, who is on our live feed. Let's go. Is anybody else needs to speak immediately before they have to go? Okay, if not, then I'm gonna go. Since Gwen loves the Qs, I'm gonna actually go to one of them. So I'm gonna go to Corey next. Yeah. Corey, you muted.
Sorry about that. Thank you again for allowing me to speak for briefly here. Definitely, Qubilah was a great movement, a great spirit, a great soul. As I was sharing with you earlier, I'm sure a little of this. This is a letter I found here back from July 31st, 2018. And over time, I had put this letter in the storage, and it just over years just kept popping up, popping up, popping up. And this weekend, I went to my storage, and this letter was right there in a box, right there, just screaming at me like, pick it up, and read it. So when I got the letter, put it in my pocket, and I went home, I sat down, I read some of this letter, and I was wondering who it was from because it didn't, I couldn't understand the signature on the name of it, but it had hashtag pink sugar kisses. So I was sitting there, I Googled, I got on Facebook and I hashtagged and pink sugar kisses, and there she was. Qubilah was in all those feeds of hashtag pink sugar kisses. So I'm gonna share some of this letter briefly with you all because some of it's kind of personal. I'm glad she opened up to me about some things that she was going through, but I'm gonna let you all just experience what I experienced, what she wrote here. She said, "Hello, I know that this is very unorthodox. Not many people actually handwrite letters anymore. Well, I'm from a different generation that still possess a few old school traditions and values." She went to say, anyway, to the point, I am writing to say thank you. Thank you for being kind and compassionate. I don't think our paths crossed in college, but I knew about you. I am grateful and blessed that I have gotten to know the professional, grown you, and I want to thank you for sharing your knowledge and so unselfishly. Even though she's still trying to find her place in this world, you are truly patient and kind. I know I will find success or it will find me. I just have to be diligent, persistent, and intentional. I can't crumble when things get hard. And that was Qubilah. She was about her mission in life. She understood that. She shared that with everybody she encountered. She was just such a great person. And for her to write this letter to me in 2018, and it's still, ever since I got this letter, I kept it in my pocket every day. And I just wanted to keep that memory close. Guys, we have to cherish each other, cherish the moments that we spend with each other because tomorrow is not promised. You know, we in the world today that a lot of people are leaving us, and we have to cherish those and appreciate those around us. And Qubilah was definitely one of those that changed and helped us become better people. And she shared that with us, that she let us know that she cared and she understood. And I ask that you all do the same thing. To show a person and be kind with them, be patient with them. And that's all I have to say here. I mean, she was a great person. She's my soror. When she got into the sorority, I was so proud for her to actually be my sister in Greek life. And she's just a great person.
Yeah. And thank you so much for those sentiments. Again, she touched the lives of everyone. And as you mentioned, she loved to write letters. Just yesterday over here at the station, Shanquetta, my new neighbor, she had a letter that you had wrote to her, and I have one in my office. That's how she loved to communicate, you know, to put that personal touch on the way in which she reached out to people. Got a couple more Facebook comments and comments from the chat. And of course, you can join in. The link to our Zoom is on the Facebook Live, and of course, it's in the flyer. So join in to the discussion. Kanisha Scott, do you want me to read this, or do you want to read your comment yourself? Because I see you're still on here.
Hi, everyone. I like to read it if it's okay.
Go ahead.
Thank you all for doing this. Ms. Gwen, hello to you. You all have our condolences. We are Qubilah sorors here in Little Rock. And I guess when she first was sent to Little Rock, they let us know, several of the sorors in Jonesboro reached out to us and let us know that she was here in the hospital. And we didn't know her, but she was our sister. And we all rallied behind her, went to see about her. It got to the point where we were so overwhelming that some of the Jonesboro stores said, "Y'all, we got to get our girl back here because CAC gonna be trying to get her recruited over there and transfer her membership." And we strategically planned when we would go out and see about her. And she always had this joke about me and my red boots. She would say, "Sora, I love to see you coming in your red boots, but I know I love it because I hear you coming because you walk with such urgency." And she said she always knew I was showing up because she would hear them red boots coming down the hall. And just a few weeks ago, she sent just such a random message. She said, "Sora, I don't want you to go out of your way, but do you think any of the stores, I'm just really craving Mexican food." And I said, "Sora, that's not a weird request. You want some Mexican?" She said, "Yeah, what do you suggest?" I said, "Well, honey, I love to eat. So let me tell you all my places." And she said, "But I don't want y'all going out of your way." It's not going out of our way. If you want Mexican food, you're going to get you some Mexican food. I said, "But we're going to have to sneak it in there." And she said, "Well, you make it happen. Just don't be loud coming with them red boots." And I said, "Call it in and we'll stop by. Here are the different places to check." And she called it in and we ran by and we grabbed it and we ran in. And she said, "You gonna hug me?" I said, "The people said just sneak in there. And if you're not gonna put on everything, you can't touch, you can't hug her." And so I said, "Sora," she said, "why you didn't give it to them?" I said, "Because they'd have smelled your food, girl. They've been trying to take your food." And so she texted me because she had some guests there with her. And she said, "Sora, thank you so much." And I think about just the love of her request. It would be so random, but she was so kind and so thankful. And she would even say, "This is what I want and this is what I don't want. Like, if you're going to pick up this snack, pick up this one, but not that one, not that type." And she's like, "I know it sounds so random and it sounds so formal," but I'm like, "No, Sora, you're so easy to take care of because you're so easy to love." And we're just so thankful that if God had to send her through this, that he sent her for her medical care in Little Rock, because we see AC Sora's got love for her. She was our unofficial Sora here. And we're so thankful that her illness didn't define her, that she still showed that Delta love. She still showed Northeast Arkansas love. She still showed love to everyone that she encountered. And I'm just forever grateful for this last year that we got to love on her and we got to have the experience of our wonderful soror. So we hope that everyone will carry on her legacy, continue to be kind to one another, and continue to show love to one another, because we do believe, we all know that they will only know we are Christians by our love. And we're so thankful for the chance to have gotten to know her and love her. Rest in love and peace and in Omega, Sora Qubilah. Thank you all for doing this for her.
And thank you for taking part. We definitely appreciate it. It is a testament to just the impact and the love that she had for everyone in Jonesboro. We're going to take about a couple minute break for those listening on the radio. The conversation is still going to continue on our Facebook Live. So go ahead and find the Facebook Live, click the link and join in the discussion. And we'll be back on the radio in about next 2 or 3 minutes. This is KLEK 102.5 FM. So while we're doing break, I'm going to just kind of read a couple of the Facebook comments. Let's see. Kenisha tag Angela Austin. Brianna Marie Hess says, "Qubilah was an incredible inspiration to me. Whether we talked about hair, makeup, or life, she always had an abundance of wisdom to share. She was a role model and someone I could talk to for advice." Hold up, my screen went blank. "I listen to her podcasts and shows often, and she always put a smile on my face. I will always treasure her friendship and the impact she had on my life. Gwen and KLEK family, I will continue praying for you during this difficult time." We definitely do want to keep Qubilah's family lifted up in prayer, especially her son, Quante. Losing a mother is never easy. It's, as someone who has went through it, it's a loss that you can only get the gravity of it if you actually go through it. So definitely keep him, especially lifted up in prayer as we move ahead into this new era as well. Looks like we have a comment on the chat from Angela Artis. Angela, do you want to read this yourself, or do you want me to read it for you? I can read it either way. She said, okay, well, T-Rail, okay. We got T-Rail here in the studio. So T-Rail is going to read the comment from Angela, then we'll get back started on the radio.
Angela says, I want to express my love for Q today. I met her in 2012 as a newbie to the community, trying to network the community. I met her along with the original KLEK crew. I got to know her as a believer in God, a friend, an encourager, and a sister. We shared many stories, testimonies amongst each other. We met as volunteers. We both had so much in common. We shared the fact that we had a heart for people in the community and to better our individual lives. So many memorable conversations that I would cherish dearly. I thank God for this amount of time.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. All right. So got about 20 seconds and then we will get ready to go back on the radio. So stand by, everyone. Again, thank you to each and every one of you who are on the call, and thank you to each and every one of you that are joined in. All right, and we're back on Community Conversation on KLK 102.5 FM, special Qubilah Jones tribute show, and we are asking if you want to join in, just go on our Facebook Live and click the link for Zoom. The Zoom number is 870-277-1080. Join the discussion and share your sentiments. Or if you don't want to get on camera, just go to the live feed, drop them in the comments, and we will read them on the air. I'm going to bring in next Patricia Brown. She is a poet. And of course, one of the things that KLEK love is poetry. And so we're going to ask Patricia to come on at this time and do a poem for us.
Good morning. I'm so sorry. I don't have a poem right now. I just had a baby, so my baby didn't let me get it done. So, but I did want to say this. I met Qubilah because of KLK and through my poetry. And we connected from day one that we met. And even if I had to recite a poem, I would say that Qubilah life was the spoken word. She was the rhyme, the rhythm of the community. Her voice gave us such positivity and hope and inspiration. And so I just want to say it was a blessing and an honor and the ultimate privilege to have known her and to been a part of her life and she a part of my life. So my prayers is to the family, to the friends, and to the KLEK family, but I do apologize that I didn't have a poem prepared. But if I had to describe Qubilah's life, she was the spoken word. She was the living rhythm of the Black community, and her voice was so needed. And I believe that we will continue to hear her voice and have her spirit in our hearts as we continue our journey through this life.
Amen. Thank you so much for giving you a sentence. And I couldn't say it better myself. She is the poem. And her life definitely was poetic, and she spoke intentionally, and she definitely touched the lives of everyone that she encountered. Next up, I'm going to go to Derek Coleman, who was a dear friend of Qubilah's as well. So, Derek.
Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm going to keep mine short and brief, but over the course of the years, I met Qubilah. I met Qubilah almost, it's been about 15 years or more through the Order of Eastern Stars and Masons of Arkansas. So we met years ago, and we stayed in contact, and on the last final few years of her life, her and I definitely bonded a lot. My wife cooked a lot of food for her and stuff, and I always brought it over there where she was at, and we sit down and eat and talk and stuff. And so for the last time we're gonna prepare a meal for the repast for the last time for Qubilah, and in remembrance of her. Thank you.
Derek, thank you so much for your comments. I know that you all had talks all the time about what she meant to you. We're going to bring on Dr. Kelly Danfus, a former Arkansas State Chancellor, current president of Texas State University. He is joining us, and we know that he can't stay long, so we're going to let him give his thoughts and sentiments on what Qubilah meant to him and to Arkansas State during his tenure here.
Hi, Laganzi. Thank you so much for inviting me to join the Zoom today. And I was so sad to hear of Qubilah's passing. She and I actually created what I thought was a really neat friendship when I first got there. Of course, she invited me to be part of a community conversation, and then she was not just a friend, she was also one of our students as well. And so we spent a lot of time talking about her studies and her plans to go off and get her PhD. And I will say that there's no one with a bigger heart in my life than Q, and what she meant to me and to Beth and to Maple. She never missed an opportunity to talk about our dog Maple, and she was such a positive person. That one of the things I take away from her, in spite of all the challenges that she faced, that she was always positive, always thinking about other people. And I'll never forget her. It was a great friendship, and I'm so proud that she was part of my life. And I learned a lot from her, and I learned about perseverance and grit and determination and the power of positivity. And the world is a sadder place without her, but it was a better place because of her. And so it's great to see so many of our friends here. Great to see all of you all for the first time in a long time, and appreciate the chance to just say a few words and to see you all and to take time to remember a dear friend. So thanks, Laganzi.
Well, thank you for coming on. And Kelly, before you go, can you call in just one last favor? I mean, I know you're not the chancellor anymore, but I figure you still got some residual pull on campus. Can maybe put in a word to get the library tower lit pink in her honor.
All right. Well, I'll see what I can do.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Kelly, for joining us and for your sentiments.
Absolutely. Thanks.
Oh, and of course, Kelly, just 1 second. Her sister Gwen just got back on. Gwen, this was Dr. Kelly Danfus. He was the chancellor that handed Q her degree when she graduated from A-State, and he's been following her journey.
I recognize him because I have plenty of pictures of that. Yeah, thank you.
It's funny. She wasn't able to go across the stage, but we had a picture of me and her in the corner of the arena, and it's one of my favorite memories of graduation. Graduations are always a great time of year, but that was a great memory for me because students kind of come and go into a president's or a chancellor's life, but there's some students that stick, and Qubilah certainly stuck with me, and that picture is a great memory. In fact, I'm going to post about that after today's session. Just to post.
I want to say a special thank you to you and the university for preparing a place for her so she could attend the graduation. That was very, very huge for her. So thank you.
Absolutely, it's our honor. Thank you, and my regards to you, Gwen. I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
I would thank you again, Kelly, for joining us and for all that you do. All righty, let's see. Corey says got to be to attend to. All right, Corey, thank you also for dropping in. Next, we will go to Adrian.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I'm Adrian Everett. I work here at the university, director of the Multicultural Center. And I own and operate a couple businesses here in town. And so I met Miss Qubilah years ago. I've been trying to think exactly when, but I'm pretty sure it had to be in the studio on probably one of the community conversations that we met the first time. And we connected right away. I have a heart for community and love giving back. And she obviously had the same heart and passion as well, and just kind of instilled it in everyone that she connected with. And so we did many community conversations together, from church stuff to community stuff to ASU stuff. And over the years, we just got really close to kind of form a bond, like a auntie and nephew type bond. where when I started cooking, she was always a fan of everything I cooked, pretty much barbecue. And oftentimes I wouldn't even be selling food, but I would post it and she'd be like, Adrian, bring something by here to the studio or to my house. And obviously I would do that because that's just, the connection we had. And then probably about 4 years ago, I was in a crunch situation and needed something sewed for my daughter and my wife and myself. And I realized she had a gift of sewing. And that was a newer relationship that we had over the years where anytime I need something sewed, she would just tell me to bring it by and she'll get it taken care of for me. And just like her sister, Ms. Gwen, said, even with her disability, she was able to do the same thing in her home as if I would have went to a sewing place. And that's what I was just in awe about is like, I would go into her house and she'd measure me and do everything just like I went to any other place. And the hardest part was she would always try to do it for free. And I was like, no, Ms. Qubilah, if I go somewhere else, I'm gonna pay a lot of money too. So please let me pay you. Please let me pay you. And sometimes, it would she would insist on me not. And I was like, all right, I got you. So I would just, surprise her sometimes and drop by barbecue and different things like that at the random times. And someone else mentioned about how, even when she would ask for things, she would always say, I don't want to inconvenience you. But would you mind stopping here and picking up, some groceries or something like that and bringing it over to my house? And I'm like, you're not inconveniencing me. I'm all over town anyway. And you're like family to me. And so just being able to do those things, it would, warm my heart and it would inspire me seeing, her going through her disability. And I walk in or she would tell me, the door's unlocked or get the key from this place and different things like that. And I was always inspired just seeing her do everything just like a normal person, even with her mobility issues. And especially in the community. I know we had fall festivals over at Parker Park and, she would say, Adrian, I'll come over there at the time that the van runs. And, a lot of people with full mobility wouldn't give back to the community. They wouldn't do a lot of things, but she always did it, even with her minimal mobility. She would go in and sit at the check-in table for us and do everything just like anybody else could do, but they just didn't have the heart to do it. And so I'm always inspired by, the service that she gave to the KLEK, to the community, to individuals. And then even when, being in Little Rock, she was still doing stuff for Jonesboro. She was still doing community conversations, even from her hospital bed. And they just, that's a drive that not many people have. And so I'm just always motivated, by seeing her and reaching out to her a few times. She was still, taking care of her son from a distance. With her knowing that I had business, she reached out to me a few times and was like, hey, Adrian, would you mind giving my son an opportunity? And I'm like, of course. I give plenty of people, but like I said, you're family. So we just always had that connection all the way, to the end. And I definitely miss her. When I got the news, when I saw Miss Gwen's post about prayer, I was just, praying it wasn't this, but then when someone mentioned it to me, I was like, just taken aback. And it was like, I literally broke down and cried right there in the moment. And so it's just, been definitely praying for Miss Gwen and Quinte. And I, just to end my tribute, I don't write poetry, but I like to use people's names and use the letters of their names and kind of write kind of my spoken word from that. And so I want to share that to end my tribute. And so starting with Q and Queen Qubilah Jones, you, unique designer of nails, makeup, hair, community service projects, and community conversations for KLEK 102.5 FM. Be intentional was her signature slogan. I, inspirational person to so many that knew her. L, love people and her community of Jonesboro. A, amazing woman of God and member of New Mount Zion Missionary Baptist Church. H, Heaven's gates opened and welcomed her on December 31st, 2022. J, Jesus Christ was her Lord and Savior. O, one mother to her son Quante. N, never gave up on her academic credentials, service to her sorority, nor community in spite of her health issues. E, educated two-time graduate of Arkansas State University and Grand University. S, sweet friend to me, family to many, star of the Order of Eastern Stars, and soror of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated.
All right, thank you, Adrian, for that beautiful tribute. And thank you for that poem as well, because, we got to get some poetry in here. Got to get at least one. So we definitely thank you for that. I'm going to read a comment from Allie Tabor, KLEK Program Director. She was not able to join us, but she definitely wanted this to be read. She says, KLEK at Community Conversations could not have asked for a better host than Qubilah. This show was made for her. She was a good listener. She made people feel heard and seen and understood. She was a gift to this community, even after she had left the community. She is so loved and will be sorely missed, and that comes from Allie J. Let's see if we have any more questions in the live feed. Shanquetta says, my sis or sister, pink sugar kisses forever. Shout out to Alexis Scott. Krista McDaniel, who says amen, and Kenesha Scott says amen, and Regina Wilson drops a whole lot of hearts. So I believe last but certainly not least on here, unless we have some more people join in, is Candace Evans.
Yeah, good morning. And Leganzi, thank you so much for having this tribute. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you good.
Okay, I was gonna say it's frozen on my screen. Man, I was trying to gather the words and gather wonderful memories that we have, but that's my six. She's definitely a light. Just coming into our lives. I used to hear about, Q just from KLEK, but then actually encountering her as my lawn sister last year, getting to know her passion for people. She definitely made our lawn that much sweeter. Just thinking about how fabulous she was, a memory comes to mind. We had gone down to Little Rock for our Deltaversary, and we surprised Q. She didn't know that myself, Krista, and Marsha were coming down. So we walked in, and she's like, "Oh, hold on, y'all, let me fix my hair first." So she gets up, she does her hair and gets ready, to take pictures and everything with us. But her service never stopped, and we were always so amazed at the things and tasks that we had before us. And Q never missed a beat. Even when she wasn't feeling well, it was, certain times that we didn't know she was, not feeling well, but she still performed. And that just truly shows the type of human that she was, the type of servant that she was. And it's truly a blessing to encounter someone that's so tenacious, graceful. Man, she's a lover of people. We definitely only got her for a small portion of time, and that's one of the hardest things to wrap my mind around. Spring 21, we're just going into 23. So there were certain things that we talked about as a line, and with certain things that she spoke about that she desired to do in Delta. We were all supportive of the things that, she desired to do. So it's definitely, again, wonderful that we got to encounter such a light, such a wonderful being, but she will truly be missed amongst her line sisters, our community, her family. We've definitely been keeping Quante and Miss Gwen in our prayers, and KLEK, and those that were close to her, because it's like if you encounter Q and you knew her, you loved her. It wasn't one of those things where, she's just there and it's Q, but it's like, no, her personality, her smile, I told Krista, my line sister, a couple of nights ago, I'm like, Q was so fabulous. She was, from her hair to her nails, her makeup, everything. And she was very intentional about the time she had here. So again, I thank you, Leganzi, for having this. You all are definitely in my prayers, Miss Gwen, Quante, in the community of Jonesboro, because this is truly a loss for all of us. Thank you.
Absolutely. And we got about a minute and a half left on the radio, so we're going to take another pause. But when we come back, we still got people on the line. And of course, Ms. Gwen reminded me, we still have DeAngelis and we have T-Rail. Sometimes, you know, when you start having a lot of people on your Zoom, you don't always catch everyone. So we definitely want to make sure that we give each person an opportunity to speak. So we're going to go ahead and get ready to take a break on the radio, and we'll be back in about couple minutes. Of course, we will continue the conversation on our Facebook Live. And of course, go ahead and join in. Like I said, just go on our Facebook. You'll see the Zoom link. Join the conversation. Share your reflections and your memories of our Queen, Qubilah Jones. We'll be back. This is KLEK on 2.5 FM. All righty. So I want to thank each and every one of you so far for coming on to just celebrate her memory. And of course, just by seeing this gathering of people that have come here today, just shows the impact that she had on the community. A couple quick programming notes. Today at 5 o'clock p.m. on KLEK, DJ King Vic will be in the mix with a special mix of Q's favorite songs. And if you knew Q, you already know what some of those songs were. So you're going to hear those songs in the mix. Also tune into KAIT. They are doing a special on Q. I did a 30-minute interview with them yesterday. They did a little teaser on the 10 o'clock newscast last night. I haven't had a chance to watch my recording of the morning news to see what they did. But, and of course, the Jonesboro Sun will be featuring her in the Saturday paper. So be sure to grab you a copy of Saturday's newspaper to see what they have there for her. But just seeing that, you know, all of these other media are featuring her and honoring her again, it speaks to the person that she is. And of course, her memorial will be next Saturday on the campus of Arkansas State University from 12 o'clock noon until, then the repast will be at the E. Boone Watson Center following service. And the repast will be for family, close friends, sorority sisters. That part won't be to the overall general public. And of course, her Sisters of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated will host their Omega service at 10 a.m. prior to her service. And of course, we'll keep you updated. Also, coming up on the 16th will be the MLK celebration. And I'm just kind of doing programming notes till we get back on the radio so that nobody misses the discussion. We will get back to everyone giving their tributes and comments. But MLK events will be Monday. The parade will be back. It's going to line up at 9:30 at the A-State Armory. And then March will be at 10:30 from the Armory to the Fowler Center, where the program will begin. And the parade and the celebration will be streamed on KLEK 102.5 FM.
You want me to read these?
Yeah, when we come back, you can T-Ray, you can read. Can you see the chat?
Yeah, I got it up.
Okay, and T-Ray's gonna read that. So we have joined us on the call now. We have Shanquetta Cunningham, and we have iPhone. Can you identify yourself, please? Hello? iPhone. iPhone, can you identify yourself?
Maybe on iPhone, but I don't know if I'm using this right.
Who are you?
I'm Martha, and I used to work with Qubilah back in 2001 at Paces.
Now, what is your name again, ma'am?
Martha.
Martha, last name?
Cardenas.
Could you spell that, please?
Cardenas.
Okay, got it. We got you renamed. Okay, well, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, this is my first Zoom, but I figured out how to get on here.
Well, yes, ma'am.
So say something about Qubilah whenever. I don't know when it's my turn, or if you tell me when to do it.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Well, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, it got about 30 seconds, and then we will return. We're kind of going back to our old school format, how we used to do community conversations. We would do a 20-minute segment. We'd take a break, do another 20-minute segment, then another break, then about an 8-minute outro. Of course, we will continue the conversation online, even if we get off the radio, until everyone has had an opportunity to have their voices heard. All right. And we're back on Community Conversation on KLK 102.5 FM. Special edition of Community Conversation honoring our queen, Qubilah Jones. And T-Rail is going to now read some of the comments, and then we'll get back to our panel discussion. Of course, if you want to leave a comment, you can join the Zoom or leave a comment on the Facebook Live feed. The link is in the comments.
Kanisha Scott said, bless y'all, Soror. We love you all. Thanks for sharing your six with us here. Let's see. Kelly Danfus said, it was great seeing all of you. Many of my friends here today, and blessings to all of y'all, Kelly. And Adrian just said, good seeing you. And then we got one from Miss Candace. She says, Soror, thank you all so much for supporting and loving our six. She is forever in our hearts.
All right, and if you could read the ones from Facebook.
I can't see the Facebook. I don't even see it.
Oh, okay, I thought you were. Okay, all right, so going to our Facebook Live comments. Let me pull the video back up. All right, and back to the Facebook comments. All right, Nicole Gerard Lockhart says, this voice will be completely missed. However, her legacy will remain. Her conversations brought life, light, and inspiration to all. We love her and will miss her. Nicole McDaniel says, never, service at heart indeed. Nicole McDaniel says, I love you, Ace. Kanisha Scott says, love y'all, Jonesboro alumni sorors. Special Delta love to those tenacious virtues. Martha Smith the Pious says, good morning all, and very intentional, love you, sis. Nicole McDaniel drops a whole lot of B's, a whole lot of Deltas, and a whole lot of hearts, a whole lot of elephants, and just a whole lot of love. Jerry Holiday said, please post the newspaper and news video on your Facebook page. Thank you. Brianna Marie Hess says, as I listen to all these tributes, one thing comes to my mind. Qubilah had the gift to make each of her friends feel like they are the best of friends to her. She had the gift of making each of her friends feel special and appreciated. She didn't hesitate to show her appreciation to each one of us and make us feel so special. So with that, we're going to bring Shanquetta onto the feed now. Actually, no, I apologize. Let's go to DeAngela's because DeAngela's been waiting a while. I apologize. Let's go to DeAngela's, then we'll go to Shanquetta.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Well, I'm gonna keep it short. With Qubilah, I met her back in, let me see, my oldest is 12, so pretty much about 2010, if I'm not mistaken, at New Mount Zion. That's where I first met her at. And then with KLEK, I was very honored on coming in and doing the shows, nervous doing the shows, but she always told me let's just go with the flow. When I ask you a question, answer to your best ability, and we would laugh and talk. And then one memory that I definitely enjoy was when we brought the kids from First Baptist to KLEK, and they were so excited to do the recording for the radio, because they was like, oh, we're gonna be on the radio, we get to talk, we used to do this. So we had like maybe 10 or 11 takes from the kids just saying, hey, you listen to 102.5 KLEK. But it was just so funny, and it was just a wonderful memory. Corian, he always worried about her, and I always told Corian, when you see her out here doing community service, just being out in the public, making people smile, laugh, just showing love, that's what good people do. You know, we understand, how her health was, but that didn't stop her, and it was times that I would just personally message like, hey, can you just let Corey know that you're fine or that you're feeling better? And she'll tell him, he'll read it, and he'll be so happy. So, and another memory is when she helped my oldest. He was going to prom, and he's literally a tall stick, and his pants were just flooding and everything, and she altered his pants for me because I was just gonna have a nervous breakdown. But she was always there when you called her, and I'm very appreciative of her. I love her. I'm gonna miss her. To the family, praying for you. To KLEK, we're praying for you, and thanks, Q, for everything.
All right, well, thank you so much. All right, now we will go to Qubilah.
Good morning. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
First, again, thank you again, Z. And good morning to you all and to Miss Gwen. I see that you are on here. So, heck, can I say, I just listened in to everyone. Did not actually want to jump in on the Zoom at first. Um, it has been indeed an emotional time the last couple of months. I recall our last conversation, and while I'm so thankful, I'm just so thankful that she's at peace now. I showed Leganzi yesterday the card that she had sent me. Now she's the one, of course, that's in the hospital, but she sent me a card in a pink and green. For I know you all have sent all this Delta love, but she actually sent me a pink and green bee. Because she considered me her mentor, and it's on my desk now. And the constant theme of Qubilah that I will take is that she was so intentional with her dash. All of us will have a dash. All of us will have an ending date, but it's not about that ending date. You know, we're trying to make numbers count, but it really is about what do we do with the impact of our lives. And she has a consistent theme of joy that no matter whom she met, we all felt so special. Um, and she just had that ability, and she really is legacy. And so I'm encouraged today for her life.
Qubilah, I hate to cut you off. I gotta shut it down for the radio. We're gonna keep this going on the Facebook Live feed. And this is going to do it for this edition of Community Conversations, honoring Qubilah's memory. And I will just simply leave you all listening on the radio with her words. Be intentional and spread those pink sugar kisses everywhere. The conversation continues on our Facebook Live. This is KLEK 102.5 FM. All right, sorry about that. Please continue.
Oh no, I can wrap it up, but just
oh no, we got as much time as we want on here.
Oh no, that's fine. But yeah, just she just was legacy. So my love and prayers to all those who loved her, and just for all of us to lead and live our lives well.
All right. And now we have Martha Cardenas. You could please unmute yourself. I know you said that you're new to Zoom. Hit the answer unmute button. Okay.
Am I?
Yes, now you're good. Go ahead, please.
Okay, my name's Martha, and I come on here to honor Qubilah in her passing. I met Qubilah back in, I believe it was 2001. We both worked at PACES, a Parent and Child Education Service. That's where I got honored to enter her life. The moment that I met Qubilah, me and her just clicked. We used to tell everybody we're sisters from another mister. We did so many different things, and we were such a good team. Qubilah was so inspiring. It didn't matter if you had a hard day, an easy day. It didn't matter. Qubilah was always full of inspiration. She always had something good to say. She was always, no matter what, I thought, my goodness, I can never keep up with Qubilah. She always had her hair done, her nails, her makeup, of course. And I got to know Qubilah back when she was in her Kiss Lips and Hello Kitty. So I got to watch Qubilah grow too, and we grew together. After Paces went out, we didn't get to hang out and see each other as often, but we still continued to do family things. Quante and my kids, they grew together as they were younger, but of course, you know, everybody goes their ways. But I just remember one time Qubilah had came to our house, and Quante was on the kids' go-kart, and he got to going too fast, and and he wrecked it. And I remember him having to be airlifted to Little Rock. And Qubilah, she just was so concerned about getting to Little Rock, and I told her to take my car, and that's just one memory I have with Qubilah that was so personal and touching, that you know when you have good friends. And I just wanted to get on here and shout out for Qubilah. She is a legacy, and she'll always be remembered. My family loves her, and we will always love her. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your sentiments. Let's go back to the comments. Gwen says, thank you to everyone. Your words and sentiments are felt in the center of my heart. I don't know if this one was already read, but I'm going to go ahead and reread it if it has. So this is from Candace. Sora, thank you all so much for supporting and loving our six. She is forever in our hearts. Audrey says, much love to our dear friend and family. Qubilah touched hearts throughout her entire life, even as teenagers. She was an awesome person. Words cannot express how much we will all miss her. Much love. And now we got a couple in the comments. Nadia Coleman says, Queen Bee will truly be missed. She was beautiful inside and out. Peggy Yam Yates says she was a true charm. All right, so T-Rail, you're here in the studio with me. What kind of just share your reflections?
Yeah, definitely. I had to even put on my jacket. Miss Gwen, I think you rubbed off on her. Even though you might have been older than she was, you impressed her a lot, because she always used to say that she loved her. I love the Qs, and I know they're going to show up for me if I ask them to. But I moved up here, and she was one of the first people who actually reached out to me, because at the time I was the bobslist of the Epsilon Alpha Alpha chapter of Omega Psi Phi here in Jonesboro. And she reached out to me, and she just wanted to bring me on to the community conversation show, because it was, I want to say maybe Founders Day, because I moved up here right before around October-ish. And after that, she was like, you got to come be on my podcast. I need you to be on my, I need you to be on the Q spot so you can talk about all this, and then eventually she got to where she was calling me to be on everything. She was like, people need to hear you talk. And I was like, I don't want to talk, but no matter what, if you met Q, you were going to talk, and you were going to talk to her, and she was going to be such a personable person. And she became the whole reason I actually ended up getting involved with KLEK as a whole. I'm sure Leganzi can attest that when she heard that I applied for the job here, she most definitely put in a good word for me. And that's one thing about Q, that when someone talked to Q about you, she always left people glowing. And she would always, like you said, have something going on, always being inspirational. And she became someone that not only just grew this program like Community Conversations, but also, I can honestly say, just involved with Delta Sigma Theta. That was her dream, like you said. So I remember when she finally got to cross, and her face was lit up, and I mean everything. She loved pink, but everything went red. Everything went red after that. I mean, it was red everything after that. And she was really, really, really excited about that. But not only that, I have to speak. I know she's not on here right now, but my mother,
Mama Dunn.
Yeah, my mom is an Eastern Star just like her. So when she got to Little Rock, I want to say my mom was up there just as much as anybody. And that was her friend. I would have to tell her, I'd be like, Mom, stop sneaking cute pound cake. And she'd be like, but that's my friend. And I used to get on it all the time, but they talked to each other so much, and they loved being around each other so much. So, again, she was just one of those people that when you met her, you loved her. She always had something fun or nice to say. And, she would come on, and she would always share ideas about the way she thought something should be able to work. And, you were very receptive, and you were open to listen. But like I said, I had to get up when I got up this morning. I was like, nah, let me go and put on this jacket, because like she always used to say, I know the bruh's gonna show up. And so
and look at the shirt, peep the shirt.
Yeah, Purple Rain, baby. Prince Purple Rain. And so, and so, you know, I definitely had to come on here for my friend. She was always so passionate about whatever she set herself towards. And she was, I mean, just and she wanted you to understand why you should also be passionate about it. So again, you know, I just want to say my condolences to you, Miss Gwen, but also, you know, thank you because you had a big part and someone that played a big part for all of us, and that will always be a big memory for me. Like I said, for the rest of my life, my time spent here in Jonesboro will be heavily connected to Qubilah because, like I said, she was one of the first people to reach out and show herself friendly and made me feel welcome to the community and made sure that I knew that I was going to be welcome to the community, but also made sure she knew that it was going to be her intention for me to be involved in the community. So I definitely can tell her thank you for that. And I can definitely sit here as a member of the KLEK family and say that it is 100% because of Q. So, you know, I do want to say thank you to Q, and, you know, she's in the studio. I don't know if you guys had a chance to see it, but that picture with her overlooking the studio with that smile is perfectly placed because that's her. And that's what people will remember about her.
Okay.
Can I say something real quick to Mr. Terrell? Yes. Mr. Terrell, she grew up with the Qs. I was married to a Q for 27 years. He still is my best friend. So Qs, I mean, everywhere we went, she went with us when she came to Chicago in the summer. So it was in her blood, and so was Delta Sigma Theta. I mean, from the time she was a teenager, she's like, I'm gonna be a Delta. And I'm like, go for it. And she loved her brothers, though. She loved her brothers. And she wanted my ex-husband to actually come and stand beside her after she crossed. But of course, it was during the pandemic when she crossed. Yes. So, but thank you all. Thank you all so much. And I'm gonna shut up so other people can speak.
Okay, we have a DeMarcus Jones on. DeMarcus, are you here for Qubilah's tribute? Okay, DeMarcus left. Mohammed and Sack, are you all here for Qubilah's tribute?
I think they just probably tuned in. We got some more
comments
in Facebook.
All right, so let's read the Facebook comments, and then I'll say a little something, and then we'll, unless somebody else comes on, we'll get up out of here. Let's see. Derek Rainey says, sending prayers to the family, friends, and sorors of Sis Jones from the city of Wrightsville. Merrick Derek Rainey. Zakia Jones says, Q is my big sister. I will miss her greatly in our talks about makeup, nails, and everything beauty. I loved her deeply. Gwen, my condolences. I knew you were super close and she cherished you. Nicole McDaniel says, Queeby was the queen and will always be remembered as that. We will carry your love, passion, and vision. One thing that makes me laugh is her being so picky. She had a certain iced LOL and a certain way she wanted her teeth. We were all over Jonesboro, but would do it 1,000 times over for you, Queeby. The chain is broken, but I love you always. All right, so yes, everyone else has spoken. So I'll just kind of share a couple brief reflections. Of course, ever since this has happened, I get asked, well, how exactly did you meet Q? How did Q even get involved with KLEK? So I first met her in 2014, back when myself, Allie Tabor, Brandon Tabor, Ryan Anderson, the first volunteers, when we were going around trying to tell people about KLEK, trying to get people to buy in, to support, to donate, because station wasn't even on the area. We didn't really have anything. And we kept being told we got to go to the North Jonesboro Neighborhood Initiative meetings. We got to meet Miss Emma Agnew. And so when we finally met Mrs. Agnew and started attending those meetings, NJ and I was an organization that is for improving the north side of Jonesboro. And of course, when we went to that first meeting, Q was one of the first people that we met. And she's one of those type of people where, you know, she immediately made an impression on you, because I remember she had this fiery pink afro It was bright pink, and you was going to see it. And she had her equally bright pink nails, and they were long, and they had all the glitter and sparkles on it because she loved to do nails, and she loved, and you would see videos where she would get like the little nail kits, and she would do the designs and the rhinestones and all that on it. So you couldn't help but to notice her. And so we would kind of speak here and there. Fast forward a little bit, KLEK, we started doing open mic and poetry events, and I had heard that Q did poetry, and I had invited her to participate. And at first, she was kind of nervous about it because she didn't, because she was struggling with lymphedema, and she didn't know if she was comfortable being out in public. She was afraid that people may look at her funny, but she did it anyway. She took that opportunity, and she got a standing ovation by the time she read her poem. And so our friendship started going from there. And she started volunteering. She had asked how she could help, and she started off ripping CDs. She would like rip music off of CDs and help put them in our library because we still were a young station, so we still was working on getting our music library together. And then I approached her summer of 2016 about my desire to start community conversations. We had been doing interviews with people, but they were just kind of random all over the place. I wanted to have more structure with those. So I told her, I said, we're going to start this show. It's going to go from 9 to 10 a.m. We're going to do it Monday through Friday. You and I, we're going to start off co-hosting it, but I'm going to hand this off to you because I really need to focus on administrative things and kind of get off the air part. And so she reluctantly agreed, but she took it and she ran with it. I'm going to share a funny story though about Q. And this is the first time that she learned the lesson that anything can happen in radio. So she had a guest book, and that guest, for whatever reason, no-showed. And so I'm actually at the vet. I was taking my dog to the vet, and she calls like, Lagansy, my guest isn't here. What do I do? What do I do? What do I talk about? Anything. But I don't know. Talk about anything. Give me the phone. Put me on the phone. So I'm literally trying to give like a shot to my dog. And if y'all got dogs, you try to give a dog a shot. That's not going to be fun while you're trying to hold the phone in your other hand. So I just started just randomly talking about anything. And of course, one of the funny things that was going on was before Dr. Danfus was on, the chancellor that came before him basically was moving out. And I said, okay, we're going to talk to the chancellor. Well, no, I'm not, excuse me. We're passed by the chancellor's house. There is a U-Haul parked in front of his house. So I'm just kind of randomly filibustering, excuse me, just trying to get anything. So I get to the studio, then I sit down in queue and I finish the show. I said, now you learn to always be prepared. Anything can happen in live radio. But she learned from that lesson, and Q never was caught unprepared again. When she would come to a show, she would have notes. She would have her questions wrote out. She would have her research. She was always prepared for any guest. So, she was definitely a person who took advantage of any opportunity. And she took the opportunity that was given her at KLEK.
Thank you.
She wrote it to new heights. So looks like we got a couple other people in. Gwen said Mohammed has been trying to get on. Mohammed, if you want to unmute, and even if you can't get your video to work, if you want to unmute and say some words. If not, then I'm going to go to Krista, who is on the phone, or on the call, I should say.
Good evening. Good morning. I got to get my time and stuff right. I just wanted to get on real quick, mainly just to say how much we love and how much I'm going to miss Q. I felt very blessed and honored for her to let me in her space. I feel some kind of way about the short time that I had with her, but the time that I had, I'm going to love and cherish for the rest of my life. So I am very blessed. Spring 21, Jonesboro, JAC is very blessed to have been in that space with her. So to keep from just talking about Q, I would like to talk about somebody that she loves so much with all of her heart, and that's her son, Quante. Quante has stepped up and had to be a man when he should have just been a child. And so I feel that we need to do something as a community, as a city for him, because he did take a big loss. We're going to be taking Cash App donations for him. So I'll drop his cash tag in the group and probably make a flyer just so people can get that information out there. And nothing is too big or too small. And it's not, just to get money out of people. This is someone that she loved with all her heart. No matter what she was going through, she always wanted us and me to make sure that Quante was okay. That's all she had. And he's a reflection of her. And I just think that we need to make sure that we take care of him in his mom's absence. Also, for us to be mindful and choose our words wisely when we're with him and around him. It's so easy to say that you're going to be okay. And in time that, this, that, and the other, but in reality, he'll never be okay. Never, and that comes from someone that's lost a parent. 7, 8 years, a week from now, you never get over that. So the main thing that we just need to know that we just need to be there and step in for him and be his mom, be his dad, be there for him as she was for all of us, because she gave unto herself for this whole community. And I just feel that we need to give back to her through him. Thank you. Be blessed.
All right, thank you. And
thank you, Krista. That was huge. Thank you.
I thought I saw Jessica on here, but they may have gotten off of the call. So let's read a couple more Facebook comments. Von Gretchen Robinson says, QB was such a fun-loving person. We met as teenagers in our freshman year at ASU in '94. We lived in Kays Hall, and she lived on the 8th floor. I, along with several other girls, shared several good times with her. I speak on behalf of Mara G, Charlotte Wilkinson, Ann Richard, Toby Gregg, Tendeka Bunch Perry, Tramika Witt Henderson. We love QB and we miss her dearly. Martha Marie Melton Cardina says, Qubilah Jones was more than a friend. Q was family, and I will always treasure our memories. Q will never be forgotten. When I want to think of Q, all I have to do is remember all the good she did here in Jonesboro. She is the queen. She is a rare diamond that will always shine in my heart. My love goes out to all of Qubilah's family. And Quante, we love and prayers for you all. And Kadisha Scott says, speak Sora. Martha Smith the Pine says, thank you, Nicole McDaniel. Well said. And all right, so I think we're going to, let me see. I think we may have a Darius that may be trying to join us. Let's see if we can get him on. We're going to soon be winding this down. Again, we want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in. We definitely appreciate it. Darius, do you have a comment? I got some for you. Darius, are you there? Okay, we guess not. All right, so we're going to go ahead and end. I want to end with Gwen. Gwen, I hope that this tribute and hearing all of the wonderful things that were said about Qubilah has helped offer a small degree of comfort. Obviously, no words can ever bring her back, but I hope that your soul can get at least a tiny bit of comfort knowing that she was loved throughout the Jonesboro community. So any final words you would like to say?
I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. Here's something I don't know if the people in Jonesboro knew, was that her reach was far greater. She participated in a live stream radio that involved people from across the country, a gentleman from Texas, Atlanta, one from New York, and she also hosted, she was a co-host of that, and she also hosted Ladies' Night on Tuesday night. So the amount of love that she gave was just, we are learning so much, was just overwhelming. And I used to go to those shows as well, attend those shows with her. I cannot begin to tell you how much she loved Jonesboro. Quante, and Jonesboro. She would do anything for us. So thank you. Thank you so much, Krista. Thank you for putting an emphasis on Quante, because she was all he had. Also, y'all be seeing me every year. I'll be still coming back because my nephew's there, so I'll be still coming back to Jonesboro, and my brother's here at Maumelle. So we're not going away. As a matter of fact, we're showing up even brighter. I love you all, and as many of you all as I see next Saturday, I will embrace and hug every single person. And thank you for loving my sister, but more importantly, thank you for letting her love you.
And thank you, Wynn, and we love you as well. And you are definitely in our thoughts and prayers, not just us at KLEK, but I think I can say the entire Jonesboro community. That's going to do it for this special tribute edition of Community Conversations. Don't forget, 5:00 p.m. tonight, DJ King Vic will be in the mix with a special mix of Q's favorite songs. So if you're in your car, tune in to 102.5 FM or on our website, KLEKFM.org, or you can download our app, or we're on the TuneIn app, the Live 365 app. We got all kinds of apps which you can tune in and listen. Of course, Q's memorial service will be next Saturday at noon at the Fowler Center on the campus of Arkansas State University. The Jonesboro Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated will have her Omega service that morning at 10 a.m. The repast will be at the E. Boone Watson Center for Friends and Relatives and Family. And of course, we just ask that you keep the family lifted up in prayer. And of course, remember to be intentional and spread pink sugar kisses everywhere. God bless each and every one of you. And we pledge here at KLEK to keep her light shining and to keep her legacy alive. Thank each and every one of you for joining in on the call. You guys have a great and blessed day. This is KLEK 102.5 FM.